Now let's try our luck again with Niv Mizzet Parun. We're up against Oyobi, who split the heavens. Oyobi? Oyobi? I don't know how you say that. We will keep. And we will hold up Spell Pierce just in case our opponent gets down a turn 1 Sol Ring. Mother of Runes doesn't sound too great, but we can't counter that one, so we'll just go for the peek on our opponent and see if there's anything we want to hold up Spell Pierce for. Alright, Swords to Plowshares is good to know about. There's an Enlightened Shooter, Angel of Flight Alabaster, a Blinking Spirit, and then there's Pearl Medallion as well, which is no doubt coming down next turn. We get into a Fire Diamond, that's good. Drop an island, drop the Fire Diamond, and pass to our opponent. Now we're going to have a couple of counter spells held up, so feeling pretty good here. Just played a game, which you've no doubt seen by now, in which we got incredibly flooded, and I'm already drawing better than I did in that game. Just drew into nothing but lands throughout the entire game pretty much, and just continue to get battered by a Primeval Titan. Now they've got that Plains down, and they've got the Pearl Medallion down, so they're not necessarily going to go in for anything next turn. They could go for Enlightened Shooter. Yeah, we're just holding up our mana here, aren't we? And we can go for Fact or Fiction at the end of our opponent's turn. They did not go for the Enlightened Shooter during the upkeep, but they did rip into a Plains, so we know all of the cards but one that's in their hand. Let's drop the Fact or Fiction and see if we can get into some more good stuff here. Well, there's Force of Will. I will take that top pile if they leave it like that. Yeah, let's just take that one. We've got an unlimited hand size, so we don't need to worry about discarding. And that's good, we cleared 5 cards off the top and then got into a mountain. Let's drop the Bloodstained Mire, and we'll just lay down the Sky Diamond here. And then during our opponent's turn we can brainstorm and shuffle the top cards of our library if we don't like those. Our opponent going for Enlightened Shooter. We could counter that, but I'm not going to bother. And they did go for Sol Ring, so down comes Sol Ring. Do we want to Spell Pierce that? We could tap them out for this turn. Yeah, let's go for Spell Pierce. So they do get their Sol Ring there, and then in response we will Brainstorm. Okay, there's a Rift, so we could go for a Bounce counter if we are desperate. On top we will put a Mountain and... yeah, we'll put the Signet on top as well. Then let's shuffle those away. And we'll go for our tapped Steam Vents. Okay, a Wasteland is of no use to us, but it gets us mana at least. I think we just go for Chandra, Torch of Defiance here. And then we will exile the top card of the library. Highly doubt we're going to play it, because we just want to hold up Disallow. Oh, that's a shame, to get rid of Mission Briefing. We don't have an Abrade or anything in the graveyard to go for with that, so we'll just say no to Mission Briefing. And this might encourage our opponent to swing in with Mother of Runes, although I highly doubt they will do that. The Angel of Alabaster coming out of our opponent's hand at the beginning of your upkeep. Return a spirit from graveyard to hand. Yeah, I don't necessarily care about that. We can always bounce it if it becomes an issue for us. In fact, Chandra can do 4 damage to that, so... yeah, I think our opponent's just trying to bait us there. We get into an Arid Mesa. So let's crack that and get the Tropical Island down. Or not the Tropical Island, the Volcanic Island is what I meant. And then we could wait for next turn and disallow our opponent's Swords to Plowshares. I think I don't really mind doing that. So let's just Flame Slash the Angel. And then our opponent is going to protect that with Mother of Runes. I think this is the prime time to go for the lightning bolt onto that Mother of Runes. And then our opponent's Angel will still get protection from red, so they will keep that. Then we might as well get down the Keranos. And we've only got Cyclonic Rift held up now, but I think we're saving Disallow for protecting our Niv Mizzet anyway. The Blinking Spirit comes down, so we only know of the swords that's in our opponent's hand now. The other 3 cards are a mystery. And a Skull Clamp as well. Taking the Angel in at Chandra, as you would expect. And then, yeah, we'll just pass like that. I might go for an overloaded Cyclonic Rift. We revealed a land off of Keranos, so we draw another card. And another land is revealed, so we'll just drop an island. And let's go in for our commander. And we've got Disallow mana held up, so the Swords to Plowshares is not going to get through. And the great combination we've seen multiple times is that Keranos is automatically animated as soon as the Niv Mizzet comes out. Those 2 cards alone give us Devotion to Izzet of 8. Blocking with the Blinking Spirit and then no doubt going to bounce it back to the hand. And that will cost them 0 mana to do that, so they managed to block some damage there, but they do have to recast that Spirit if they want to keep doing it. And then attempting the Swords to Plowshares. We'll draw a card first. Oh, Consecrated Sphinx is going to make things really troublesome for our opponent. Counter the Swords to Plowshares with the Disallow and ping our opponent again. And we get into Vidalcan's Shackles as well, so we can steal away our opponent's creatures. So even if our opponent manages to get our Niv Mizzet out of play, we're looking pretty good here. Then down comes our opponent's commander. Whenever you cast a Spirit or Arcane spell, you get a 3/3 Spirit token with flying. And that only has 3 power, so we can definitely take it with the Shackles. We reveal a non-land, so we get to throw a lightning bolt around. Let's put that onto the Angel. And then the ping from Niv Mizzet can go onto that as well. That will get rid of that creature. And we will hold off on the Wasteland for now. And let's get the Shackles into play. Take our opponent's commander and then swing in. And we have now well and truly taken the reins on this game. A Forbidding Spirit for our opponent. When it enters, until your next turn, creatures can't attack you or planeswalkers you control unless they pay 2 for each of those. Let's see what we can get off of an Impulse. We'll draw a card from casting the Impulse. Just get into a land, ping our opponent again. And then when Impulse resolves, we can look at the top 4 cards. 1 goes into our hand and the rest go on the bottom. We have a counterspell there if we want it. I think I'd actually rather take the Dak Faden. Although we can draw the game to a close next turn, can we not? Yeah, so we should do that. Let's go for the counterspell. It would be more fun to take the Dak Faden and steal our opponent's Sol Ring, but don't want to disrespect my opponent. Casting the counterspell puts another point of damage onto our opponent with Niv Mizzet. And yeah, deciding to scoop it up there, which is fair enough. We were probably going in for Wasteland and killing off the Mystifying Maze, and then we would have drawn into Mystical Tutor, and that would have drawn us another card, and we could have put something on top. So, control decks doing control-y things. And because we managed to keep our opponent off of that Swords to Plowshares, we managed to bring this one out to a victory. Much better than the previous game. Hopefully you've all seen that by now. I think I'm going to release those videos on separate weeks. So that's probably last week by the time you're hearing this. But yeah, didn't get anywhere near as flooded on lands as we did last game. This is much more indicative of how the deck is supposed to run, and usually does run. So hopefully you all got some enjoyment out of that. I'm tribalkai on the EDH channel. Thank you for watching.